Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Varsini.
Yeah, hi.
Okay, so shall we start?
Yeah, shall we start? Yeah.
Okay. I'll share my screen and
Mm-hmm.
okay, is my screen up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before I go to the course content, let me introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I am from SSIT Software Online Training, and I have an experience of around 4 years in IT sector.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have worked on various languages like Python, C#, and there are others. So, and also I have a training experience of around 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's it from my side. And I would like to know yours about.
Yeah. My name is Varshini, and I did my bachelor's in India. Like I'm doing my current master's in USA. Mm, yeah. I completed my bachelor's in CC background.
Okay.
Yeah. Still, you need anything?
Yeah, I think that's it. We'll go with the content
Mm-hmm.
first. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I think if you are able to see my screen, I think
Yes, yes, I
start
can
from
see your
the
screen.
core Python, and then we'll move into the advanced Python, and then we'll also have basic uh, libraries of the Python, that is pandas and numpy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think if we, so I think half of the training will be completed on core Python. I mean, so whatever is the course duration, we'll complete core Python first, and then we'll move ahead with the advanced Python, and then we'll go for exploring the libraries that we have for the
Okay.
Python. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I think today we'll complete this introduction part of the, I think, introduction to the languages that we have, and also what I can try today, we'll try to set up the Python in your machine actually.
Okay.
Okay, and okay, so before jumping to the course content itself, so I just wanted to know from which language you did your bachelor's, means which stream you did your bachelor.
CSE background, like computer science and engineering.
Oh, okay, okay, then I think it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Okay, so earlier, what are your, means already which languages you know? I think it will help me to actually adjust my course content.
Mm-hmm.
So already
Mm-hmm.
you have some experience with other languages, or it is the first language you are learning?
No, now only I'm learning this first language.
Okay, so you don't have any prior experience with any language.
Yeah, I do not have any experience or anything like that.
Okay, okay, no worries. So we'll start from the very basics. So I think, so the very first topic is introduction to the languages that we can see. So okay, so languages actually we mean in day-to-day term. So in order to communicate from one person to another person, we use languages. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So okay. So in the similar way, when a programmers try to communicate with the machine. I think we call it as a system. So at that time, we also need certain languages to actually communicate with the system. So that communication has to happen with the help of programming languages only. So
Okay.
yeah, so that now we'll be discussing what are the languages already. I think you must be knowing some other languages also other than Python. You must have heard of it. Like there are many languages in today's world where programmers are actually learning and writing the softwares. Uh, can you name any?
Mm, like you're asking like Java or else
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. I think you are correct. Means okay, you have heard Java. So have
Mm-hmm.
you earlier you have heard Python as well?
Yeah, I have Python also. Yeah.
Okay, so I think so we'll keep the means this session as interactive. I'll be asking few questions because I don't want that you get bored in between and simply I keep I keep on talking and you are listening. So I just
Mm-hmm.
want it to be interactive. So that's why I'll be asking few questions as well in between. So
Okay.
that will be a very basic question. I think you'll be able to answer them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so as we started with the language, so I'll first tell you means how this means I think before you communicate with anyone, I think first of all you have to learn the language and then only you will be able to communicate with the other person, because
Mm.
the person who is in front of you, he has to understand your language also. In the similar way, uh, while we interact with the computers with the system, so I think the system has to understand what we are writing actually. uh, so I'll so if we define language in a simple term, so the language I think will not call as a language, we call it as a programming language. Okay, so the programming
Okay.
language is something uh, 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 a person who tries to write some uh, when a person tries to write something, I think it may be in a any format or any following any syntax or any rules. And when the when this language is written and compiled to given to a computer just to understand it, and it gives some output from it, so I think our goal is achieved. Means we wrote our syntax, we wrote anything, I think, and then computer was able to understand it and it also gave us the output whatever we wanted. So the purpose was solved. So that's where the language comes in, because whenever we try to communicate with any person, so I think the purpose is to understand, make him understand. So in the similar way, the computer also has to understand. So that is what language is. Okay. So now I'll jump to types of languages that we have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the type we have, I think, if we talk about the types of languages, we have two types. Sorry, three types of languages. That is high level languages and low level languages, and another one is intermediate languages. So I think that will jump to later on, but I'll start with the low level languages and then I'll go to the high level languages. Okay. So
Okay.
our machine understands only okay, I'll break down this to very simpler terms. So as you can see, our machine does not understand anything what we write. Means if we write any thing over over a system, so actually it is broken down into in terms of bytes, I zero as zero and ones. This much you
Oh,
know, or it is very difficult to understand. So I
okay.
think, yeah, so whatever we write, whatever we instruct to the computer, it actually breaks down them to a zeros and ones, because our machine understand only the binary language.
Okay. Got it.
Got it now. So
Mm-hmm.
now when we start, suppose we started writing something to the computer, and ultimately it has to be broken down to such a lower extent that our machine is able to decode it and then convert it into a desired output. So that is what is the purpose of it. Okay, so in the
Okay.
so that broken down at the lowest level that is generated, so that is called as the low level languages. Okay,
Okay.
is there any difficulty in understanding?
I didn't get you. Sorry.
So are you getting any do you have any problem in understanding this part, means
No,
this
no, no.
part?
I got it. I got it.
You got it now? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So this low level language is a machine dependent language. So, okay. So we have various platforms. We have various machines, like we have Windows machine, we have Mac OS. So operating system you must have heard of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So
Yes.
in Windows we have Windows operating system. In Linux we have different Linux operating system, and in Mac OS we have uh, okay, so that is Mac. In Apple we have Mac OS. Okay, so they are different environment. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now every means ultimately all the languages are written in different environment, and now ultimately all has to be broken down into zeros and ones. So now we can see the languages can be many, but I think ultimately the goal is to convert them into zeros and ones, and then only the machine will understand it.
Okay.
Okay, so I think, and when we talk about so these are the low level programming languages. So I think if we talk about the further types of low level programming language, we have machine language, and another one is assembly language. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
machine language. Okay, any question?
No, no, no. I got it.
Okay,
Please
okay,
continue. Yeah.
okay. So I think we also called we also call this machine language as an object code, and also sometimes it is also called as bytecode. Okay, so just I'm talking about the languages now, and then we'll move to how this language is actually uh, broken down and how the machine understand it. Okay, so I'll move on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and another one I told, assembly language. Okay, so it is also a
Mm-hmm.
type of low level programming language only, that is designed for specific processors. Means suppose we are writing some low level code, and also for some we have Windows operating system now. So the program which is written for a particular machine, so that is called as a assembly language. Okay,
Okay.
okay, and
So this machine language and assembly language, these are all low-level languages.
yes, 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 they are low
Okay.
level.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, okay. So and they are not means they are very faster to execute. The reason is because they are directly into the zeros and ones. Means whatever we'll write, it will be directly converted to zeros and ones. So it will not take much time to compile, and it will be very faster. Okay, you cannot uh, imagine it why it is faster, because you have not uh, means I have not described you about the high level languages. Okay, so that's why it will be very difficult for you to understand. So now I'll move to high level programming languages. Okay, so the high level programming languages are the one which we are going to study, that is a Python, C Sharp, Java, and uh, JavaScript. There are many other languages. Okay, so why we
Okay.
call them as a high level languages? Because they are they are very easily to be understood by the humans can understand them very easily, so that's why they are
Mm-hmm.
written. And now the things with means we are able to read and write those high level languages, but machine does not understand that. So now it has to be broken down to the low level language.
Okay.
Okay, so so conversion of high level languages to low level languages, I think high level programming language is converted with the help of compiler. Okay, so every machine has got a compiler which
Mm-hmm.
actually converts high level languages to low level language, and then machine is able to understand that.
Okay.
Okay, am I
Mm-hmm.
clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I think I'll simply define this high level language in a simple term. High level programming language is designed for developing user friendly software programs and websites. Okay, so I think why we use programming languages, just to means suppose if we are wanted to create an application, we wanted to have an software programs, we wanted to have a website. So at that time, we use this high level language, programming language, just to have our means, requirement completed. So there are various already in today's world, you can see there are many applications, Android application and websites working on these languages only. So and now if we talk about such languages, so I'll start with the Python only. And I think if you learn this Python, other languages are also similar to it only. Okay, so
Okay.
just you have to learn the rule set. The syntax is actually common to all the languages. Just you have to understand the approach to actually solve a problem with the help of this language. So when I am telling about this approach, I think the approach is always same. When it is not restricted to any programming languages. I think we write programs just to solve a particular problem. In today's world, there are various problems which can be solved with the help of programming languages. So that's why we learn languages in order to solve those problems. Okay. So now I have told you about the high level language and the low level language. Okay, so these are actually theoretical parts. So it means now you'll not understand much, because in theory, simply I think you have to listen and I have to speak. But I think when we'll do some implementation, I think that at that time you'll be also
Yeah.
But I think starting in the starting we have only the theoretical part only. I think from the introduction to Python we'll have something to write. Okay. And I think at that time also I'll ask you to have your machine setup done, and then we'll also do some practical implementation of it. Okay. So okay, so we were on this types of languages. Okay, so now I told you high level languages are actually written in a human readable and understandable form. So now how they has to be translated so that machine understand it. So for that we have translators. Okay. The main purpose of translator is it has to convert the language high level. It has to convert the high level language to machine level language. So it this is the main purpose of it. Okay. So it translates the high level language program into a machine language program. So that is with the help of CPU. Means every system has got CPU. So this CPU is actually responsible for translating the languages to the machine level languages. Okay. Okay. And if we talk about the types of translators, we have three types of translators. One is a compiler, and another one is interpreter, and then is assembler. Okay.
Can you please repeat it once again for the three translators? What are those?
Okay. I think there are three types of translators. One is compiler, another one is interpreter, okay, and another third one is assembler. I think that is not mentioned here, but I am telling it. Another one is assembler. Okay. So now we'll understand what these three means. They all are translator only, but what are the difference between them? Why compiler? Why interpreter? Okay. So if we talk about compiler, I told you we have high level language like C# and Python. Okay. So what compiler does? So there is a difference of actually operation on the languages. Okay. So I'll tell you. Okay. Compiler, what it does, it will take the input as a source code. Okay, when we write some program, so it is actually inside a file. Is it okay? Means we write something, it will be in a file. Okay. We have suppose we are writing any story, so it will always be in a .txt file. Okay. And suppose if we are writing a program, so it will also have some extension to it, like .cs file, or .py file, anything, the extension can be. Okay, so this source code is given to the compiler, means we actually give it to a compiler, means to the machine, and then what machine does, it actually compiles it. It is difficult to understand. If it is difficult to understand, so you just tell me, I'll also break down into a very basic level, and then I'll make you understand. Are you getting some, or
yeah, I'm getting it.
okay, okay. So what compiler does, it will take the complete source code at a time, and it will just convert that to a machine code, object code, you can say, at a single go. It does not look at line. Okay, means at a single go, it will take the complete input and then it will convert to a machine code. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the work of compiler. So now if we talk about, I'll give you an example as well. Okay. So we have a program written in which there are 10 lines. Okay. So the 10 lines is actually, we write code in order to serve a particular purpose. Okay. So suppose the purpose is to calculate a factorial of a number. Okay. So for that, I think I have written a 10 lines of code. And now that 10 lines of code is actually a complete program. So now what compiler will do, it will take the complete program as an input and it will convert that to a machine code, the object code, at one go. And then it will execute it, and at last you will get the output as what was the program name I told? I think just to calculate the fact. Okay, anything, means the program can be of anything. So whatever we wanted, the output will get the output. Okay,
the output will get out. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So this is the complete flow of the program, how the program gets compiled. Okay, so this is the compiler, this is how the compiler works on a program. Okay, so again, so all I'm talking is the part of interpreter. Sorry, translator. I think we started with the translator only, na? So the translate, this is a part of translator. Compiler is it? It is a type of translator only. So now I'll jump to interpreter. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what does this interpreter does? It will what it will do? It will take that complete source code and it will start with the first line. Okay, so I told you in the source code I have 10 lines, and now it will start with the first line. First it will try to see that line, and then it will also try to find any errors in that line or not, and then it will convert that single line into a executable code, object code, means machine code. Okay, and then it will then again it will go to the second line, and then again it will convert that to an object code, and then it will execute it. So are you looking at the difference of compilation in the how compiler was doing? It took complete source code as an input and converted the complete source code into an executable file, the machine code. But in case of interpreter, what it is doing, it is taking each line
by line.
Yeah, line by line. Correct. So now I think you will be able to analyze the difference between interpreter and compiler. Okay, so suppose so I think you can only say now which is faster and which is slower. Can you imagine?
Yeah, compiler is faster and the interpreter is slower.
I think you are absolutely correct. So the reason also, because compiler actually converts the complete code at a time. Okay, that's why it is faster. But as when we talk about interpreter, so it actually converts the code line by line.
Line by line, so it takes
that's
time.
Why it is slower. Okay. And okay, so now I'll ask you another question. So I think you will only tell me the differences. What is the difference between the compiler and interpreter? Okay. So now I think we wanted to compile a complete source code. So also, okay. So for compiling a source code, we require some memory also. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, what it does now, actually, how it will compile, I'll tell you. So suppose we have written something, print something, print and bracket, inside that something is written. Okay. So for print is a function. So for print, already in the machine, already for the print, we have already defined 0 and 1s. Okay. So that print is broken down into low level code. So what it will do, it will take that line and it will store somewhere in the memory, and then it will act on that, and then it will produce the output. Okay. Now, as I told, the compiler, what it does, it will take the complete program at one go, and then what it will do, it will store the complete source code into a memory. So if you can imagine the complete source code uh, placed in a memory, so it requires more memory, and interpreter will work on a single line at one time, so it will be using a less memory.
Okay, got it.
You got it now? So I think this is also one of the difference. So like compiler takes more memory in order to execute because it works on a complete source code, but interpreter requires less amount of memory, less space.
Less amount of memory, got it.
Yeah, less space. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And also, okay, now the third, I think third and fourth difference is means when we give the complete source code as an input to the compiler, so means you can imagine errors will be suppose is if there is any error in between of the source code, anywhere any line can contain errors. So errors will be displayed only until and unless it will check the complete source code, then only the errors will get displayed. Are you getting? So
yeah,
in compiler, it will take the complete source code as an input, and then at last I'll be able to find out, oh, this source code was having an error in this line. Okay. But in case of interpreter, it will check each line at one go. So if it finds any error in any of the line, so it will just stop us there only, because it will find out that yeah, this line contains error. So it will be, the error will be displayed as when the means as soon as it is encountered. Okay, so we'll not proceed to the next line.
Okay.
In case of interpreter, are you getting?
Got it.
Yeah. So I think so means I think for the means when we talk about the examples for the compiler and interpreter, so most of the languages uses compiler, and there are other languages, means very few languages are there which actually uses interpreter. Okay, just wait, I'll have to my battery is down, I'll plug in my charger.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Okay, so if you talk about Java, C, C++, okay, so they are these languages are there which uses compiler as an translator. Okay, and if we talk about interpreter, I think we have Ruby and Python. Okay, Python comes in both, I think I'll tell you. And there are other languages like scripting language, actually they comes under this only. Okay, so we'll talk about it later, but I think so you were able to understand the difference between compiler and interpreter.
Yes.
Okay, so I think if you wanted to make a note, are you doing that? Okay, no, not required, but I think they are.
Why? Because yeah, it is recorded session, right? And I think maybe they'll send me recorded session.
Oh, okay, then it is very good then. Okay, and then okay, so now we'll talk about scripting language. So I told you we have a scripting language. Okay, I'll tell you what is a scripting language first. Okay, so I think just now you understood this only when we are talking about this compiler and interpreter now. So a script is okay, we have two types of languages Okay, programming language as well as scripting language. Okay, so the scripting language is how should I say? Okay, we are instructing someone to do something. Okay, I'll tell. In programs, what we do now means programs are actually uh, a complete process. Means from the starting till the execution. I think this is the complete process, and it requires a separate way of doing. But scripting is actually comes along with the programming. So all I think when we talk about this, so all programming languages, all scripting languages can be a programming language, but all programming languages cannot be a scripting language. Are you able to grasp this part? Or
Can you please repeat it again?
okay, so all scripting language is a programming language,
Okay.
but all programming language is not a scripting language.
Okay. Got it.
Are you getting?
Got it. Yes. Yes.
Okay, if you are able to get it now, so now I'll ask you one very simple question. I think so. A scripting language requires which translator to run? Can you tell that? Okay, I think it is okay. You cannot tell that because I have not told you how the scripting languages are getting compiled. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah.
You just only compared and you told something like definition of that. That's it.
Okay. So a scripting language is a programming language which is designed specifically for runtime environments. Okay, it automates the execution of a task. Means suppose if we are trying to uh, means we wanted to automate something. Okay, means we are able to do something, but now we want it to be done automatically. Means we write something and that task will be done automatically but if we run that script. So a script is a very small chunk of code written just to complete a particular part of the just to achieve our goal. Means suppose I'll tell you an example. So suppose in daily way we come and open our laptop. Okay, and now what we want that when I open a laptop and every day we are writing some mail to someone, every day we are writing some mail to my manager or anyone. Okay, so now you can see this is a daily practice. I come to the I come to the office and open my laptop and then write some mail to my manager. Okay, about my status update every day. So this is a kind of
Yes.
daily work. So now
Yes.
every day when you are doing it, so you wanted to automate it. Automate it means you don't want it to be sent manually. Means you don't want to open the Outlook, you don't want to write the mail, you just want to send the mail without any human intervention. So this is the kind of automation you are doing. Okay, so now
Okay.
what I'll do, I'll just go to that machine where my Outlook is there. So and now what I'll do, I'll write a scripting language. A scripting language means either there are other I'll tell you how many there are other languages like Python is also a scripting language, can be act as a scripting language. uh, uh, there is a Node.js. There are other languages which are actually scripting, PHP. Okay, Node.js, Ruby, Perl. They are scripting language. So what I'll do, I'll just write that particular part of the means a smaller script, and then I'll run it on my machine every time when I open my system. So what it will do, that script will run and it will automate that process. Okay, and then the purpose of sending the mail to my manager is achieved just by writing that script. So just you saw that this automated the way, just automated my task.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a scripting language. So this is the main purpose of a scripting language. Okay, are you getting it?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Okay, so I'll tell you there are two types of scripting language in today's world. So one is server-side scripting and another one is client-side scripting language. Okay, so
Okay.
server-side scripting language is actually the PHP, Python also, it comes under that only, Node.js, Ruby, Perl. So there are various, but I think you can read about them in later in your free time, I think. Just I'll tell you
Okay.
now. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, the scripting languages are written uh, in the backend. Means suppose if you are working on some websites or some mobile application, so when we wanted to communicate with the DB or with the API, so it will come, we wanted to send some request to API and then get the response. So at that time, in the backend, we take help of this scripting language just to communicate with the API, just to communicate with the DB. So they are called as a server-side scripting language. Okay, so I'll not go much into the, I'll not go in detail actually, uh, because there are many things to be learned on
Mm-hmm.
server-side scripting, and there is another one is the client-side scripting language. Okay,
Okay.
so client-side scripting language, they run inside a browser. Okay, so we have a browser. You understand browser, Chrome, Mozilla, Internet Explorer. So these are the browser. Okay, so suppose also JavaScript also a kind of client-side scripting. So what it does, whatever is displayed inside your browser, na, so I think these scripting languages are responsible for that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and they are actually uh, means they are mainly used for the front-end languages. Okay, I just now I was talking about the backend. Now this is the front end. Okay, so in website we need mainly the front end or back end, and the languages, the examples for them, I think I'll tell you: HTML, jQuery, CSS, and JavaScript. They comes under the client side scripting language. Okay.
Okay. And that script. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, just okay. If you get confused anywhere, na, just ask me. Means if you have any doubt also in between.
Okay, got it.
Sure,
Mm-hmm.
madam.
I
Okay.
think so. These all are comes under types of script.
Types of scripting language. Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
means I'll tell you means why actually we use the scripting language, because they are not very larger. Means they are not very large in size. They are very small size, in small size. Okay, but if also the main reason is uh, easy to learn. The scripting languages are very easy to learn, because if you wanted to learn JavaScript or any Node.js or Python, because they don't have a very vast syntax to remember. Very simple. Okay, that's why people actually love learning scripting languages. And if and also they are open source and free. Means scripting languages are very open source. Open source, it means that anybody can do any modification to that language, and you'll always have the latest thing to work on. So that's why they are open source and free. And uh, also they are okay. The main advantage of scripting languages, it is cross platform. Okay, so okay, when we are talking about this compiler and interpreter, okay, so at
Okay.
that time, I think I did not told you about this. So when we compile any program, or so ultimately what happens, it is actually converted to a machine level code. So when it is converted to a machine level code, so that if it is converted to a machine level code, so then that code can be run on any of the machine, because any machine can understand zero and ones.
Okay, got it.
So if any machine can understand zero and ones, so it means
Mhm.
it is cross, means we are not dependent on the environment. So that's why
Okay,
they are called as cross platform.
got it.
Got it? So
Mhm.
scripting languages are cross platform. Okay, they are not at all dependent on the environment, whether we are running it inside an OS, whether we are running means in which OS we are running it, whether it is an Windows operating system or an Linux or Mac OS.
Or a Mac. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the main advantage of a scripting language.
Okay.
Okay, and also they don't require much memory to execute. unlike programming language. Programming languages require actually memory. They require a lot of space memory, memory space to actually get compiled and then. Okay, so scripting language are interpreted; they are not compiled. This is the main difference I'm telling you. Okay,
Got
so
it.
scripting language are not never compiled; they are interpreted. Okay, therefore they require smaller memory from the systems running them. So I think this difference already we learned. Whatever means the difference between the compiler and the interpreter. So scripting language is interpreter using interpreter. They are
Okay.
interpreted. I think just now we learned the difference now means between compiler and interpreter, if you remember. So yeah, so that is the reason. So scripting language is interpreted, not compiled. Okay.
Okay, it is interpreted, not compiled. Okay.
Yeah, and also they are safe and secure. Okay. So now I'll jump to the programming language.
Okay.
Okay. So I think now programming language is the one which we are studying now. It's C, C++, Java,
Java, Python, these all are programming languages.
they are all programming language. You already know that. Okay. And they are also called as high level languages. And okay, I think if you wanted to know more about this programming language, I think we are going to already learn about the programming language. Already we have to learn Python only. So I'll not go much into the detail. So I'll tell you the advantage. The advantage of programming language. Programming language are actually simple to understand. Means anybody can come and he can, because they are written in a, they follow certain syntax, they follow certain rules, then only they are written. Okay, so they have their structure. They have they are written in a very beautiful way. They have a code designer and everything. Okay, so they are actually human understandable. I think programming language. Scripting language are simply written. They don't follow any rules and all. Okay, so
Got
this
it.
is the main advantage of using programming languages. Okay,
Okay.
and efficiency also
So
is
can you please repeat it again once?
which what?
Can you please repeat it again? What is the programming language?
Okay, so the programming languages are uh, I think it is used to interact with the computers and they are compiled. They are not interpreted.
Okay.
Means the programs that we write, they are actually first compiled and then they are executed. So it is
Okay.
so it the translator that is actually means working on the programming language is a compiler. So all programming languages has got their compiler in order to compile the source code into a byte code, means the machine code.
Okay.
Okay. And all programming languages has got their syntax. Means if you talk about C#, if you talk about Python, if you talk about Java, all of them has their own syntax. Okay. So the reason of having their syntax is all of them have their own compiler. So if when I'm talking about the compiler, so compiler is for each and every languages. Ultimately, all compilers work is to convert them into a machine code. So this is what compilers work. Okay. So now, and why now you can ask why then, if everything has to be compiled into a machine code only, then why we have lot of means different languages? So this can be a basic question you can ask, but I'll give you an answer of it. So if we are having the reason of having so many languages is some languages compiler are actually cross platform, some languages compiler are actually platform dependent, means, and some languages compilers are uh, faster or it can be a slower. So these are the variations that we actually get in various languages. So this is the reason we have lot of languages to learn, and we choose the languages based on our usage, based on our need. Okay, so we are going to learn Python. So this is also Python also is a kind of programming language only. So we'll learn more detail about Python. Just now, I just wanted to give you the high level picture of programming language. Okay. So
Got it.
programming language is a high level language. I think this is clear. And
Yeah.
and also they are simple to use, and also they are structured, and they are efficient, and also they are portable. So portable, it means then you can move from one place to another place,
Got it.
one computer to another computer, that also you can do. Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
I think that's all for programming language, I think. And
Okay.
yeah,
Means
are you saying something?
introduction to language or completed?
No,
Like,
no, no, no. I think we have the other things also, no?
yeah, we completed till differences between scripting
Yeah.
and
Okay.
programming
So
languages,
now
right?
we'll talk about programming paradigm and procedural programming paradigm and object-oriented program. Okay. So
Okay.
now I think when you learned everything about scripting and programming language, so now we'll talk. Okay. So suppose if you are given a problem and then you are asked to write it into a very simple, means what program is it is actually a set of instructions which are actually executed in a particular order from top to
Hmm.
bottom or bottom to top. So this is the
Hmm.
way actually program works. So when you write it,
Hmm.
when you write a particular set of instructions, so it has got a particular order to be executed. Okay. So
Hmm.
I'll tell you with the help of one example. So suppose if you're asked to cook and if you're asked to make a vegetable, so I think you'll follow certain steps that in order to get it done. So
Yes,
suppose
yes.
if yeah, so that this is what actually happens with the programs as well. So now I before I jump to this programming paradigm, I think I will tell you uh, I think what does this paradigm means. Okay. uh,
Okay.
what is the meaning of paradigm? I think that I'll tell you first, and then we'll move to this programming paradigm. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the paradigm is actually uh, when we are given any problem, set of problems, so we break down those problems into a small problem. Okay. And
Hmm.
then we solve that small problems. And then I think when we have already solved the small problems, I think we are able to solve the bigger problem. Are you getting?
Okay.
So paradigm is a kind of it is a set of rules working on small uh, problems, and then it is able to complete. We are able to achieve a bigger problem.
Okay.
Okay. So I think paradigm is a kind of rule set, you can say. Okay. So I think then I think the very on the very starting now when we started uh, writing the code, I think we actually followed the imperative programming. Okay. So imperative programming, what it means, we are writing suppose I'll start with a very small example. I told you that when you wanted to cook something, so what you'll do, you'll start something means you'll write a first step, like you wanted to make a chapati or roti something. The setup instruction that you're going to write is you'll have to prepare a flour, and then you'll have to put a small amount of water
Yeah,
into it,
we'll
and then I
follow
think yeah,
the steps of
yeah, so
it.
you'll follow the steps. So this is a
Mm.
imperative programming. So you know the steps, you write it down, and I think our problems will be able to achieve what we wanted in the initially. Okay, so this is
Right.
imperative programming. And now when we are the next come is procedural programming. Okay,
Okay.
so in procedural programming, what we do uh, means we wrote down the steps. So now what we'll do, we'll combine the similar steps into a single thing, and we'll make it a function. Okay, function is a kind of the complete set of instruction, just we are naming that functions. Okay, I'll okay I'll make a function like pour ingredients. Okay, So this is a function which is actually saying something. It is saying that what this function does. It has got some meaning. So this is, so that's why procedure, I think procedure you understand. So procedure is a kind of, means you can say function only. So it is a set of instruction and understood by the user, understood by the humans. So like calculate calculate sum, or calculate something. So we give some meaningful names to a certain function, and then we come to know that yeah, this function does this. Okay.
Okay.
So this, so means when we talk about C programming, so where in the very beginning we started with the C programming only. The C programming was actually a procedural programming language. So in that we used to write function, and then we used to solve our problems. So there will be various functions written, and those functions combinedly will be used to solve a particular problem. So they are procedural programming. Okay. Because
Okay.
we are writing certain procedures to it in order to get our task done. And then I think we move to object oriented programming. Okay. So what does this object oriented programming means? When we the problem, I'll tell you the first problem. What was the problem with the procedural programming? Okay. uh, we wrote the function. Okay. And now when one function wanted to interact with the another function, so there was no better way to communicate with the function. Okay. So this function is giving certain output, this function is giving certain output. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll actually open my notepad, and then I'll show you. I think it will be very better.
Yeah, yeah,
I think.
that could be better.
Are you able to see my screen?
No, that means I am able to see only your PPT.
Okay. Okay. So now what you are able to see in my notepad?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'll start writing a function. Okay. So I'll tell you first about the procedural programming. Okay. So suppose I have a method named. Okay, I'll give this method name as sum, which accepts
Okay.
two parameters, int a and int b. And this is a function which returns me the sum of two numbers, a plus b. Okay. So what it is doing, I think you will be after saying this name only, you will be able to say this method is giving me the sum of two numbers. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Very easy to understand also, no? We are
Like
passing
why
two
we
variables, a and b, and it is returning me a plus b. So it is
A plus B, yes,
sum
yes.
of, okay. So now I'll be writing some another function. Okay. I'll say this method name as difference.
Okay.
And in the similar way, it will also be taking
Int A and int B.
int b, and then
Return A minus B.
it will return me a minus b. Okay. So if you see these two functions, so they are actually independent of each other. Am I correct? But they are
Yes, yes,
solving a particular problem. So a plus b is giving me the sum of two numbers, and this is giving me the difference of two numbers.
yes, yes,
Okay? But they are independent among themselves. We cannot
yes,
merge
yes,
them. So suppose if we wanted to use both at one place, means to in order we wanted to use it at some other class. Oh, sorry, I'll not take class word here. we wanted to use at some other project or some any other places. So at that time, we will not be able to use it because of the constant that it is defined inside a file. It will be inside that only. Okay. Anyway, I think there are problems when means also when we wanted to communicate the result of it with some other methods or some other things. So that is not possible here. Okay. I think
Okay.
everything. And so now this was the problem with the procedural programming language. So then we came with the object oriented programming paradigm. Okay. So now you'll tell me, I think you'll ask, what is this object oriented programming paradigm? So I think object means what? Okay. So in real world, what you see means whatever we are able to means whatever you see in day-to-day world, all are objects. Okay. If we talk
Okay.
about that, all are objects. So suppose if you are seeing a car, a dog, an animal, anything. So all are an entity, and all entity which are able to see, they are an objects. Okay.
Okay.
Or you can say they are a kind of class. Okay. So
Okay.
so I think I'll remove class term here. I'll simply use object. Okay. So object is a particular means object is a kind of what you can say, it represents a complete entity. So if you're talking about an dog, or if you're talking about an animal, I think animal is an entity. Okay. So inside, animal can have their own properties. So like animal can smell, animal can walk, animal has got many types. So you can see animal has got various features and various functions to describe about it. Okay. So if we
Okay.
talk about a complete animal, it represents a complete object. So now when animal is when we are I told you how it can communicate with each other. So animal has got its derivative, like animal has got dog is an animal, and uh, elephant is also an animal. Okay. So do you see the relationship between dog and animal? Animal is animal is a kind of parent, and dog is kind of child. Means okay, I'll not talk about parent child. uh, so if you see the dog belong to a class of animal. This statement is clear to you?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Okay. So elephant also is a class of animal, and dog is also a class of animal. So they both belongs to the similar feature. So if animal
Okay.
has got any common feature, so same feature will also be will have with dog and also with elephant. Both has got four legs, both has got both are living being. So these are kinds of, I think, common features that both animals they are having. So
Yeah.
now I think when we want that dogs can communicate with the elephant, so they suppose uh, uh, I think we can make a relationship between a dog and elephant. Just I think whatever I'm saying, it is in terms of a real world example. But when we'll talk in terms of programming languages, I think at that time also similar kind of similarities and the differences we'll find among the classes. So I told you we can have a class, and then in class can have its own properties. Class can have its own function. Okay. So I
Okay.
told you dog is a kind of class. So dog has got its function. So function is dog can walk, dog can bark. These are the kind of functions for a dog.
Okay. Got it.
Got it? And similarly, if we talk about a car is
Okay.
also a kind of class. Car can also act as a class because car has got its color. It is a kind of property for a class. And car can we can drive a car, so it is a kind of function for a car. Okay.
Yeah.
And also we can open a door for a car, so this is also a function for a car. We can give accelerator to a car, so this is also a function for a car. Are you getting? Means so
Yeah. I'm getting.
so and when we talk only about car, so it actually includes everything. So if we write car, so it actually combines everything, function as well as its properties. Okay.
Got
So
it.
got it. So this is, I think, this complete car represents an object of a car. Are you getting?
Okay.
So now I think I told you this in a theoretical terms. I think when we'll talk about programmatical, I think
Mhm.
you'll come to know how we represent in it, represent car in a programmatical way. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So how we
yeah. Correct.
represent class and how we write everything inside a class. So all these things will be studying in later part of the courses. But I think just
Okay.
now I'm giving you the overall means high level picture of a class. So I think,
Got it. Got it.
and now when we are seeing this methods, functions, so they are not, they do not have many things to be described. I think they are very particular about something. So I think some method is actually describing me, so this will return a simple summation of two objects, and the difference method will give me the difference of two numbers. I think that's it. There is no other information these methods are giving to me. So now,
Got it.
but when we talk about class, the class has got many things, and now I'll tell you the class can also communicate with each other in various forms. They has got relationship. I think I'll come up with better examples I'll in the next session. Okay, and
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
give
Okay.
you
Got it.
more live examples of it. Okay, but just now,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I think
Session was completed.
wait, I think you are able to see that course content now.
No, no, no. I cannot see. I can see only your notepad.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so what I thought of doing today, I think next is introduction to Python only. We'll start with this. So we started at 9 and it's 10. Okay, so we have another half an hour left. So we can go ahead with the course content. I think what is Python and why Python and the history behind Python. I think all these things can be completed today. And also I'll ask you to, do you have your system with you?
Yeah, I have a system. Like that mean I have only this one. Only this one I have. I do not have extra.
I didn't get. You have only this thing.
I have only this Lappy only. I do not have extra system or anything like
No,
that.
no, you don't need anything extra also. You have Lappy yourself now. What
Yeah,
is the,
yes.
it is Windows OS or no,
It is Windows OS.
Windows OS. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So it is running on Windows 10 or Windows 11.
I think so. It's Windows 10. I think so.
Okay.
Not 11.
Okay. Mm, yeah. Then I think, okay. Before that, I'll start with the Python introduction, and then I think we'll go with the installation. In the later 15 minutes, I think we can complete the installation part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is Python? I think that this is a very basic question. I think. Mm, I told you Python is a programming language. Okay,
Yeah.
it's clear.
Yeah.
And I think it was created by Guido van Rossum, and it was released in 1991. Not an issue; it is historical thing. So I think I'll tell you the uses. Why means what are the uses of Python? Okay, so Python can be
Okay.
used for a web development, and it can also be used in a software development. Also, it is used in mathematical field, and also it is used for the scripting language. Okay, I think if
Okay.
you are nowadays you would be learning about data science and all.
Yes.
So I think in data science we use Python. This is very useful language in terms in data science field. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
correct. So I think Python is why we learn Python is, I'll tell you the advantage. Because it is very easy to understand, and also it does not require large number of code to be written for a particular thing. Okay, so if you talk about other languages now, in order to achieve a very simple thing also, you'll have to write a large number of codes, large number of lines of code. But in Python we don't need to do that. Means it within a very few lines of code, I think you'll be able to achieve many things. Okay, so this is the
Mhm.
I think main reason that we are using Python. Okay,
Okay.
and also this Python language works on different platforms. So suppose if you're writing some program in Python language, so it is not restricted to a particular machine, so you can compile it anywhere. Okay, just write a program in any machine, and then you take that program and run it another machine. It will work. It will not give you any error or any compilation error. Okay,
Okay. Got it.
yeah. So because I'll tell you the reason. I think many people tell ki Python is a programming language. It is not an scripting language. But okay, many people tell ki Python is a scripting language. Okay, but it is both. I think programming language as well as a scripting language.
Oh, it is both.
Yes.
Okay.
So many people means there is a confusion, like Python programs are compiled or not. So Python programs are compiled first, and then the compiled part is actually deleted by the Python, and then only we are seeing the output. I think so. People does not come to know whether the programs is compiled or not. So they directly see
Mm-hmm.
the output. So that's why people come to know that this is an scripting language. Means
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay.
So Python has got means in mathematical field, they are used very extensively. I think statistic, if you know. So in statistic, Python plays a great role in order to do the computation and all. So we use certain libraries, NumPy, I think already told. So they are using, means those libraries are actually designed for these only. Okay,
Okay.
so I think history of Python, I don't have much idea. I think and I think you can learn it on Wikipedia. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
History of
Yeah,
Python. Okay,
history
I'll
of
learn
Python
it.
is also not required, but I think yeah. See the features of Python. I think we can. This is important. Features of Python.
Mm-hmm.
So this will learn. So I think features of Python. Uh, it is a dynamic language. So what do you mean by dynamic? I'll tell you. So in Python now means when we declare any variable, okay, you don't have any prior language experience. No, means you told me earlier that you have not you don't have any history of language. Hello?
Hello. Yeah, yeah. Tell me. I'm listening.
Yeah, you don't have any prior experience on any programming language.
Yeah, yeah. I do not have.
Okay, okay, okay. Then okay. So I think variable you understand, or hello?
Yeah, yeah. Tell me. Yeah.
Variable you understand? Variable.
Uh, I think so. You're asking the question. I didn't actually. I don't know. I have only basic idea, just basic idea. That's it. I do not know in that what is that. What is that?
Okay, okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. No issue. So okay. So when we write any program, I'll share my screen and I'll give you an example that will help you to understand. Okay. So okay, I think it is not required. When we'll start with writing a program, very first programming language. No? At that time, I will start with the thing. So I'll
Okay.
tell you in very simple way why dynamic. So dynamic language is what? So whatever we write at runtime, it comes to know that the type that we have written, it is of what type. Okay, the type,
Mm-hmm.
I think you would not have understood what type I am talking about. So
Yeah.
in programming language, we have various types we define for a particular variable. A variable is something that stores certain things in a memory. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
a variable, I think it can be any alphanumeric character. Okay, so
No, but
alphanumeric.
why did you ask about the variable? It means here it is showing like dynamic interpreted all these things, right? Why did you go to about variable?
Yeah, I'll tell you. The variable is actually we are having different types of variable like integer, string. So these are variables. So variables, it means variable. The term variable itself says that it can vary. So suppose if you are storing something to a variable. Variable means if you write x equal to something, x equal to 5. Okay. Now you understand that x is a variable and we are storing 5 into this variable. Okay.
Okay.
So the 5 is integer that you know.
Yeah, 5 is an integer. I know that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now when we declare this x as a variable, so in front of it we wrote int. Int means integer. So if we are
Yeah.
writing int x equal to 5, it means it will only store integer. It will not store a string into it.
Okay.
Okay. But in case of Python, we are not at all writing integer in front of a variable. So if we are simply writing x, and in front of x we can write anything, whether it is an integer, whether it is an string, whether it is an a float or anything. Okay, I think I'm using such terms. They are programming terms. I think you'll come to know in later stages, but I think I'm just giving you an overview why this dynamic. So if you're writing x, so it can take anything to store. Okay, so that's why dynamic means at runtime compiler will decide whether the given value to this variable is of what type.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Got it. So we
Mm-hmm.
we are we are simply writing x equal to your name, something whatever is your
Yeah.
name.
Okay.
So okay.
Got it.
So
X
at
is equals
runtime,
to. Mm-hmm.
yeah, at runtime when we'll compile this program now, though what will happen? Compiler will decide, okay, the past value to the x is a type of string. Okay. So it will store a string inside x. Okay. So in the next statement, I'm writing x equal to 5. Okay. So again,
Mm-hmm.
when we'll compile the program now, then what will happen? The compiler will understand, okay, in front of x now integer is written, so it means x has to store integer value. Okay.
Okay.
So it is a dynamic in nature because we are not fixing the things. It is not static, it is dynamic. So we are not forcing that variable to store only integer. We are making it open to store anything. So that's why it is dynamic.
Okay. Got it.
Were you able to understand?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now I think I'll talk about interpreted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, why Python is an interpreted language? I told you it also acts as an scripting language. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I told you about this. The scripting language are compiled by interpreter.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the reason And okay, why this interpreted? Interpreted, it means the Python code, the source code that we write in a Python, that will be passed line by line. Okay, so interpreter does this in the similar way only, no? So what it will do,
Okay.
it will convert the complete Python source code into byte code one by one, not at a single go.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any problem in understanding? Can you tell me?
No, no, I can understand. Yeah,
Okay.
you can go forward. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So this is an interpreted language. It means it is actually acted by the interpreter. Okay. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
it is an interpreted language. Directly, it is converted to a byte code with the help of interpreter.
Okay.
And when we talk about object oriented, so object oriented is, I told you, the object oriented is the relationship among the objects. Okay, so we can write a program in Python uh, which will be able to communicate with the among themselves. Means the communication between the classes, communication between the programs is also possible. That's why they are object oriented. Okay.
Okay.
And embeddable, it means we can write a particular program and then we can embed it into a particular software. So suppose if we are having a chip, if we are having a uh, I think you are trying to make a robot or anything, so any hardware we have, so we can write a program in a Python and we can embed that program into a particular robot or a particular board or a particular chip anywhere. Okay, so these
Yeah.
programs are embeddable as well. Embeddable means you understood. So it can be embedded. It can be
Yeah.
pushed inside a hardware, and then it will execute based on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
It is extensible. Extensible means it can be extended to means extended to means it can be used with any other languages. So like we are means there are other languages actually, Java, C++. So means if you wanted to actually use Python along with that, so that is also possible. So it is extendable, means we can extend our program anywhere. And large standard. Okay, so this Python has got very standard, means very large libraries, and this Python is also open and free source. Okay. Hello.
Got it. Got it.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think already we are left with 9 minutes. What we'll do, I think you have your system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so if you are, I think it will be better if you share your screen. And do you have that option of sharing your screen?
Yeah. I have the option,
Yeah, you
but
can share
what
your
should
screen.
I show?
I think you can open any browser you have, Chrome or anything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to give me a work or what? I
No,
didn't get you.
I'll just ask you to install Python in your system.
Ah, no, it is already installed actually.
Oh, okay. So which version of Python you have installed?
I think so. That is 3.6.1.
3.61. Okay. So any specific IDE also you have installed?
Specific? No, I didn't install. Oh, I installed only Python. I think so.
Only
That.
Python you have installed. So are you able to write any program or execute
Oh
it?
yeah, I think so. It is 3.11. Yeah.
Okay. So means okay, can you share it now? I think I'll ask you to write a few lines of code, I think, in front of me, and then uh, whether it is executable or not, I think that we can check.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you stop the screen sharing?
Yeah, yeah.
You can see my screen.
Yeah, you can open CMD, type CMD, yeah,
Mhm.
click enter.
Generally, I regularly execute the program in Jupyter Notebook, not in the command prompt.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Can you write here Python? Simply type Python
Mhm.
and hit enter. What is this?
Yeah, it is showing 3.10.
Can you close this?
Huh? What? I didn't get you.
Can you close this?
Not about this. Mm-hmm.
Python type Python and space. Oh, no, no, it will again open the same thing. I think your path is not set. Okay, you have Jupyter installed.
Yes.
Okay, I think then we can work on that, because I also wanted to actually show you running a program, means running a script from command line. So that is also a part of the course. So just wanted to set up the environment, like we have path variable has to be set up. If you
Ah, yeah,
hello,
tell me, sorry.
hello. So
Yeah, yeah.
if you search for advanced environment path,
Uh-huh. What you're asking me?
close this, go to
Mm-hmm.
search and type environment
Huh? What? I didn't get you.
environment setup. Yeah, yeah, this one. I think first it came. Can
But I think so. It is not there in this.
yeah, yeah,
Something
it had
happened.
came. I think if you delete few characters, ENVIR, yeah, this one only.
Okay.
First one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go to last one, environment variable. Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
And let me check for the path. No, I think your path is not set up. Can you click on new? That one,
I
yeah.
think in this
Yeah, yeah,
one.
that one. Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, type path, PATH,
Mm-hmm.
and go to your file explorer. Keep it like this only. Go to file explorer, just down. Okay, go to C drive. I think.
Actually, I think so. I have.
Can you go down?
I'll go down. Check you see here. You can see this, right?
No. I think I wanted to ask. Can you open C drive? I think it's not C drive. No. That is not the installation directory.
Okay, open that. Okay.
No, this is not the one. Can you click on this PC? I think you have left hand side. This side. Yeah, this PC. Yeah, click on that. Can you scroll down? Scroll down. No. Yeah. Can you go to C here? Windows C. And now if you search for that, can you scroll down? I think you'll get Python somewhere. You don't have it? Go back. I think. Program files, if you see, I think somewhere you should have Python installed. You have installed it, no? Python?
Mm-hmm.
Why we are not
I
able to see?
did. That's what I showed it now, right?
Yeah. Can you go one step back? Go to
Okay.
program files 86. You have scroll down. Yeah, this one. Here also you check for the Python.
I think, wait, let me check. Like where I have installed.
Installation path is that only. It should get installed there only.
Mhm.
No, it will not be in a download folder. It
No,
will always.
but I think.
Can you double click on that again? Python 3.11. No, that installation one. Yeah, double click on that. Yeah, run as administrator. Oh, it will ask you to that. Okay, just cancel it. Cancel it first. It will ask you to that.
No, but you can copy this as a.
No, this is
Okay.
not required. Exe path is not required.
Okay.
We need the installation directory. Just can you cancel it? I think, or you can open as programs and feature. I think I wanted to check whether it is installed or not. I am not able to find that folder only because for us it is coming inside C drive as a Python 9.6 something if the version that you have. But for you, I think it's not coming. I think it will be inside C drive only. If it is installed, you had double clicked on it and you had installed it. Uh, can you give me the control? Hello?
This is the one.
No. Can you give me the control? I'll try to check.
Mhm.
Are you getting any request?
Yeah, I got it. You can do it.
Okay.
I approved it already.
Okay. I'm not able to control. No, I'm not able to control your screen.
No, you are controlling my screen. I'm not moving my cursor. as you are only moving the cursor.
I don't know what happened, but from my side also, I'm not able to do that.
No, I gave control to you. I gave access to you.
Yeah, it gave me, but I don't know how it behaves. But okay, no, so you can cancel it. I think I'm not able to access your machine.
Okay.
Cancel it. I think close it. Yeah, simply close it. Okay, I'll show you the same thing in my machine. I think you can try that later on.
Okay.
Yeah. I think if you see uh, in C drive, we have I have see I have Python 3.9 folder created. So this is the path we need to give there. Okay. Hello.
Got it.
Yeah. So this is the path we have to add there. So I think tomorrow you can try this. Also, you can try to search on the internet how to set the environment path for the Python. I think you'll get some idea over the internet. And even if you are not able to do that, means tomorrow we can try again. Okay. Already, I think you have Python installed, but I think the path is not set. So we can do that tomorrow. And we are running out of time also. So I think that's it for today. Tomorrow we can move ahead from the where we.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, you can close it.